It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night, I should be sleeping like a log. But when I get home to you, I find the things that you do will make me feel alright.
So yeah, talk about relationships, guys. Yeah, where should we start? What I've said for a long time is that there's usually this 6-month rule, and it works different for different people. But for the most part, it takes about 6 months for you to become comfortable enough with a person that you start being yourself, truly yourself, not really hiding who you are. Sometimes it takes longer because maybe you don't see the person as often, and so the 6-month rule doesn't really apply. And sometimes maybe you just, but even if you're really just like great people that work well with each other, usually you have those 6 months where everything's awesome. And that doesn't really mean anything. People that are new in relationships, they're like, oh, I can't even imagine fighting with this person. Like, you guys both said that in your relationships. You guys were like, I can't even imagine, like, or you get in a fight, you're like, we resolved that so easy. How can this relationship go wrong? These guys, they're nice at the beginning, and then you're in a relationship and you're going to be an asshole just like everybody else. If you're over there trying to befriend that girl, be like, oh, he shouldn't treat you this way. You're going to treat her the same way.
Absolutely.
You just have to wait a little bit of time. It just...
Can we take a minute to talk about the nice guy?
Let's take a minute to talk about the nice guy.
We've talked about the nice guy on the blog several times, and I just haven't been able to edit it into the thing, but we're going to talk about the nice guy this time.
And how much self-identified nice guy sucks. Now, being a nice person is awesome, and you should strive to do that. But people who complain about how women friend zone nice guys, none of those guys are nice, and we're about to explore why.
Or it'd be like if a girl didn't like me like how I liked her, I'd be like, oh, like I'm such a nice guy, and she's like with this dick. Why doesn't she want to be with me instead? And it's like you forget, like of course they're gonna be having problems like anyways. So it's like she just probably vents to you about like all the bad stuff. You don't know what's really going on, and because you're so infatuated with her, you just want to like tell her like, oh, well, I'm better for you, even though you don't really know the whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole story, so.
Definitely. And we also, and I think this comes from like movies and TV shows, like we have this tendency to view like anyone who's in competition with us as like this automatic asshole, especially if they're better than us. And two is saying that the reason you weren't selected as a nice guy is just a really good way to put off blame on yourself. Like, I don't need to work on my sense of humor. I don't need to work on my ability to socialize with people. I don't need to work on, you know, my health or whatever. Like, if she didn't choose me, it's because I'm just too nice of a guy. Her loss.
Or like, what if she's not looking for your type of person anyways? So
yeah,
it's like,
that's true. Yeah, you just might not be her type. You know? I think it's hard for certain guys to understand, especially if they're the type of guy that, like, can't have any female friends because they'll immediately like fall for them.
Reach onto them.
Yeah, like, you know, if a girl's nice to him, he's like, oh, it's done. I'm gonna fucking
we're gonna get married someday.
Yeah. When that kind of guy is presented with an option where like you literally can't be friends with him, otherwise he's gonna think that you want to be his girlfriend. Then that's another challenge right there, because that girl can literally have zero intentions right from the beginning, maybe even let you know about it, and you know, that's just that bad idea going in. They kind of present that in 500 Days of Summer a little bit too, which is I think why that movie makes a lot of sense.
The thing is, like, every relationship is different, and yet you have to like watch out for things that are common in every relationship.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're gonna decide like my relationship is even though our relationship is different, you can't decide mine's special.
Yeah.
From like everyone else's.
Everybody thinks that they're the special relationship.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that. Yeah.
Your love is the best, and like if you're having problems, you just have to work at it because you're meant for each other. Yeah. When that's not always the case. Maybe you're just not good for each other, and that's nothing wrong with that. People feel like they're failing if they give up, or like they're giving up or something.
You have to have it in your mind what you want out of a relationship.
Yeah.
Much. If you're going to be with somebody that's going to be constantly trying to like fight against you, then you're not helping each other. Like David said in our ceremony, like Woody Allen said, relationships are like a shark. It has to be constantly moving or else it dies. And if you're in a relationship where you're at a standstill and you don't have somebody that's helping you to advance yourself and you're helping them to advance, then literally there's nothing
no
special
point
about
in
it.
We should like clarify that we're not trying to like tell
this is days of our lives and we're trying to take your girlfriends away.
No, we're not trying to say anything bad about relationships.
No pulling nesters, David.
There's good relationships out there.
I'm not
trying to say like
no,
there's a certain way that you need to be in a relationship. You
I
just
think
have to
we
question
said
things when you do that.
I think we
Yeah,
should
everyone has their own
that.
way of like going.
Yeah.
It's like some like postmodern relationship.
I'm
shit.
saying if you're in a relationship, you don't have to do it the way everybody says you have to do it.
Word.
But don't use that as a scapegoat for
Yeah,
staying
exactly.
in a bad relationship.
Yeah.
I had a friend that got married recently, and everybody was like, "Oh, happy wife, happy life." I'm like, "Okay, what about you?"
Right?
Like, where is this thing that we have to make all these sacrifices to make the girl in the relationship happy at the cost of
Your
The
life.
guy's
your life?
sanity and
So if-
dreams and hopes.
Yeah, so
Or
if
your
she's being a
dignity
clingy
and-
bitch, you have to be nice to her and make her happy by being there with her all the time.
Sacrifice.
Instead of telling her, hey, maybe we should like chill out. Yeah, get,
relax and
yeah.
have a good relationship and
Live our
enjoy each
lives.
other's company.
Those
Yeah.
friendships and those relationships, your acquaintances and all those types of people, like sometimes like those types of relationships are very difficult also.
Actually, that leads me
And
to
then-
another thing I've been wanting to rant about. Where people complain about you like not hitting them up, but then they never hit you up. Like it's like they're expecting you to like feed everything into this relationship, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship or just anything.
Dude,
Like they're like, oh, you never hit me up. This is the first time you've hit me up in like weeks to tell me that you never hit me up.
Dude, I
mean,
have that
come on.
exact problem with one of my friends right now, and it's
Right?
fucking ridiculous.
The thing like lately I've been doing with friends is like, where like people will assume that I'm shy or scared or something, but I'm like,
you just hate them.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's
Like, hey,
what.
why don't you ever talk?
It's like, because you're a dick, man. Like, I don't want to talk to you. You're kind of a dick. You're assuming and condescending, and I don't like it. And so it's like,
Dude, I hate condescending people. That is one of my
Right.
like buttons.
Like relationships.
Ah.
Like not just boyfriend girlfriend, not just all relationships. All these relationships in your lives are like sharks, and you have to be constantly moving.
there's this
You
good
want to be like
quote.
engaged and stimulated and all that, and yeah.
There's this quote by Khalil Gibran that says, from friendships, from the Prophet, that says, "Seek your friends not with hours to kill, but hours to live."
Yeah,
Word, that's a
dude,
great
I love Khalil
quote.
Gibran.